What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Today is a great day, man. It's Niner Day. Every day for me is Niner Day to the end of the season. I really hope you guys are still Niner fans after that beatdown we received. No, I'm just
It
playing.
wasn't a beat down.
we got, we
It's like a
got,
letdown, but
yeah,
not a
yeah, definitely a letdown, man. We didn't get beat down, man. But I got two great guests with me today. I got my man Wayne Breezy right here, and my boy Grant Cohn. Man, how you doing, man? How y'all doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, Grant?
I'm doing great. Good to see you, Wayne.
You
How
too,
you
bro.
doing,
Doing really good.
man, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off, man. We gonna sum this up, and then we're gonna go into like some, this next game a little bit. But let's talk about last week. Just give me your analysis on what happened and what do you think we need to fix going into this week.
Wayne? You go.
Look, I mean, we all saw what happened. The way I broke down last week's game was it just didn't look normal, like a normal 49ers game. Even on the scoring drives, everything just looked timid. Everything looked like they were just trying, they were practicing. That's what it looked. That's exactly what it looked like from my eyes. Because when the 49ers needed to score, they did exactly that, right? They were like, oh, we're down. Okay, we'll just come back. And then they tried to do it again, and it kind of bit him in the mouth for whatever reason. It just didn't look like a well-planned game, and it could have been due to injuries and not having a certain amount of wide receivers, or I don't know. I don't know what goes through Kyle's head. All I know is the way the schedule is, and we didn't win that game. And that was one game. I had a splitting between Arizona. I just had us losing the game in Arizona. So come week whenever we play them again, it'll probably go a totally different way. Defense started off nice and hot, and they just cooled off toward the end of the game. And the offense, after the Kittle scare, Jimmy just looked different. That's all. I'm gonna leave it there. That's what I saw.
What about
the way
you,
I
Grant?
saw it, the way I saw it, it really felt like a preseason game. It felt like week one of the preseason in the sense that, like when they do preseason, they always be like, well, look, it's vanilla. They're not game planning.
That's it.
It's like, did you game plan for the Cardinals whatsoever? Like, where was your plan to keep Kyler Murray in the pocket? Where was your plan to limit DeAndre Hopkins? Like, how are you going to not give up 14 catches on 16 targets for 150 and a touchdown? Like, what? Like, was that like a joint scrimmage? It felt like a joint scrimmage. I mean, what they needed to do in that game to win was like three things: keep Kyler in the pocket, take DeAndre Hopkins away and force anyone else to beat them, and like throw to your running backs. Throw more than 5 passes to Raheem Mostert and Jerick McKinnon. You could have won that way. And instead, they're like losing the game because they're throwing to Trent Taylor with like everything on the line. It's like, what? I'm sorry. I mean, I really think they're going to do better from here on out, but it was like a total throwaway game, which is weird because they were so focused last year. I mean, they were great last year. They never had a game like this at any point last year. You could say the Falcons game, but there were a lot of injuries in that game. And that was late in the year. To come out first game like this was like, is this going to be a different kind of year? What? I don't know. It was a bad sign, but they should be able to make up for it right now.
I'm gonna be honest, man, and say like, if y'all remember last year's first game, we didn't play particularly well in that game either. We just happened to win because of the pick six by Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
And I think I looked at the last 3 years opening day for Jimmy G, and he's been horrible. Yeah. So like maybe it's just Jimmy a little bit, and maybe I'm hoping that, right? I'm hoping he, but I just don't know why. I felt like in this game he didn't trust Jimmy to try to win us his game until the last 2 minutes, where he really didn't have no choice but to call some plays to go further, stretch the field a little bit. But I didn't feel like he trusted Jimmy. What do you guys have to say about that, man?
I think Jimmy didn't trust his receivers. That's what I saw. The press box looking at it, I thought I saw Shanahan call some shots, some play action shots to Pettis, and a few of them where Jimmy didn't pull the trigger. Now, I'd like to see the coach's film, which still isn't out yet.
KB, I don't know what's up with that, huh?
I don't know.
Right?
So I felt that Shanahan was actually more aggressive with his play calling than Jimmy Garoppolo was with his throws, which is weird because when Jimmy came here from New England, he was like Mr. Gunslinger. and it didn't matter who his wide receivers were. Marquise Goodwin, Trent Taylor, it didn't matter. Now it's like, I don't trust Dante. I don't trust you. Like, he's a totally different guy. It's weird. I mean, I don't know what to make of it. Maybe he's just internalized so much criticism since the Super Bowl. I don't know what it is.
It's something mental. I know that. But you definitely saw that he wasn't trusting it. I mean, and when he tried to throw to those receivers, they just looked like they weren't really all in on trying to grab a pass. He would throw to a spot, guy wouldn't even try to get the ball from the spot. Don't want to mention his name. But my point is, I just don't think
KB, right? Yeah.
Just anyone. I just KB, when they called his number, he was on point. With that last stretch when he was down, first of all, they didn't really throw to the wide receivers like on the first couple of series, right? He had a couple of catches, 1 third down was missed by Trent. That's when we had the punt. I'm like, why does he keep going to this guy? And he ain't seen him in 2 years. Like, go to the guy that you trust. I'm telling you, man, once that bad throw, that high throw to George Kittle, that took away, I think, a lot of Jimmy G's game, like how he wanted to play or attack the game. And Jimmy G's strength to me is attacking the middle of the field, right? He likes to attack the middle. And why didn't we attack the middle? We stopped. Like, everything was to the outsides of the sticks, or we're going to throw it deep over the coverage. And it didn't work. It didn't work the whole game. But when we attacked the middle of the field, it was fine. I was sitting there talking to my man Tony. He was just like, yo, it looked like once Kittle like kind of got that scare, the middle game was gone, and then we picked it up and got that touchdown, took the lead, and I'm like, oh, we got it. Then the defense gave up some bonehead penalties and whatever or whatnot, which are questionable, and then we just couldn't close or seal the deal. But again, like,
I just don't like that from Kyle Shanahan. Like, what I see from him sometimes is like, have a great game plan, but can you adjust mid-game? Like, yeah, you lost George Kittle, you still have Mostert, McKinnon, Jeff Wilson, Jordan Reed, Ross. You have so many guys,
which goes to your point, Grant, of it being a vanilla game.
Super vanilla. So you thought you were just gonna like win on talent, and I kind of thought they would win on talent. But what we saw is that the Arizona has a couple guys on offense that are truly special.
Yeah,
I mean, Kyler Murray, my goodness, who's more physically talented than him at quarterback in the league right now? Like a couple of guys, 2 or 3,
maybe.
That's it.
Maybe
that's
like
it.
Lamar.
Maybe. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, I'm gonna throw this out there too. I mean, can we talk about Robert Saleh too? I mean, no adjustments for Hopkins, who was really their only offense, like in their entire game. I mean, if you really look at the stat sheet, it was really a Hopkins Kyle show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all.
I mean, so where was the adjustments in the second half when they were deliberately forcing the ball? And I know we play deep cover thirds, we playing deep, and so them dig routes is there. Where's the adjustments? I didn't see the adjustment from him.
He's from the Seattle coaching tree, and what their deal is we want to be true to our identity. We want to do what we do, and I get that. But when you go against an offense that has 2 good players, that's it. A guy who scrambles and a guy who catches passes. It's not good enough to just run your basic defense and say we have the talent, our scheme is sound, we can beat him. You need to make special considerations to take away 2 things, because that's what Belichick does. Belichick will look at because the Cardinals are a limited offense. They're not a juggernaut. They got 2 things: a scrambler and a guy who can throw to one guy. So what Belichick says is, all right, well, I'm not going to let you win in either of those ways. If you're going to beat me, you're going to be throwing to Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald and Kenyon Drake. That's what you're going to do. I'm going to take away your 2 best things.
That's it.
And that's what the Pete Carroll, Dan Quinn, Gus Bradley, Robert Saleh don't do. They're like, well, we're just going to do what we do. Like, okay, well, then you're going to lose to a disjointed offense with 2 good players. It's your fault. You have more talent than them. All you got to do, there's so many ways. You tell your defensive line, don't go for the sack. Keep him in the pocket and make him be a quarterback, because he hasn't seen that many coverages. I mean, does he get through his progressions? We'll see. And then with Hopkins, all you got to do is put a guy on him, bump and run.
He said all you got to do.
No, tell me, hold on. Take the read away. Bump and run coverage.
Yeah, press
zone behind it.
Which is
box and one, like basketball. Just take the read away and say throw anywhere else.
Box
and one. I agree, but they were deliberately picking on Emmanuel Mosley, and I seen that they were lining him up in the area. Even if Sherman was on that side, they will motion him away from Sherman and run some plays. And then they're running a lot of quick hitches, screens.
Oh yeah,
try to make them come up and tackle, which I thought we did pretty well on. But I will tell you, man, I seen some plays. I seen one particular play where our safety, oh my god, Tart. Yeah, Tart didn't make the play. I'm talking about the drag route, and in the game when it looked like he was running wide open, like Jimmy Ward hopped on the under route, the first one that was going the opposite way.
Wait a minute,
and then Tart came. Tart didn't even jump on the on what he was supposed to. He went deep, and he had the angle, and he still outran him.
It's too confusing, man. There's too much communication. When on an offense where one receiver is catching 14 of 26 completions, where one receiver is more than 50% of the passing game, he can't ever get a free release from the line of scrimmage. You can't ever let him run through your zone. You always have to have a man on him, pressed up, taking away slants and all the quick throws.
Yeah, you got to beat him
up. Live to see what happens with Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald. They're not going to beat you. And we've seen Robert Saleh make this mistake before. I mean, he lost to Green Bay because they couldn't stop Devontae Adams. They lost to the Giants in 2018 because they couldn't stop Odell Beckham Jr. It's like, you've got to stop one player. What can you do? It's not playing cover 3 isn't good enough. Maybe against other teams it is, but against this team with one guy, just double him. Just double him. Short and long. Take away the slant, play the safety over the top. Boom. End of story. You're going to win. So, what kills me about this game that they lost is the Rams. The Rams are inferior to the Niners. The Cardinals are inferior to the Niners. The Rams are going to beat the Cardinals because the Rams have Jalen Ramsey. It's not even going to be close. The Rams are going to make the Cardinals look bad. The Niners make the Cardinals look like a Super Bowl contender. It shouldn't be
playoff.
It shouldn't be that way.
We played them like that last year too. It was pretty tight on both of those games. We just ended up winning the game.
Totally new strategy for the Cardinals. It's ridiculous that it's gone this far. They've played them 3 times with Kingsbury. They need a new approach.
I think Kingsbury has the system. Those short routes. Those quick decision-making routes that kind of eat our system up a little bit. So we gotta switch up, and we can't really play man, right? Like we can't really play man.
See,
you got to tire out the D line and all those bubble screens, make them chase.
Or split coverage it. You can split coverage it where you have on one side you'll have a zone concept, and then the other side got man concept. And then when if they roll coverage, if they motioning. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I thought we were going to be implementing this year with our new DBs coach, right? I thought we were going to see a lot of press man zone, right? One side doing one thing, one side doing the other. Here's what I saw from Kyler Murray in that game. I saw a lot of, if Hopkins ain't open, I pull the ball down and run.
And he was out.
Exactly. That was the whole offense. Look for Hopkins. If he's not there, run. And a great team like the Niners should be able to shut an offense like that down. There's no excuse to lose to that. That's a high school offense. That's a high school offense. Now, they're great athletes, but that's not sophisticated enough to be able to do what they did to the Niners.
Kingsbury threw the okie doke in there because what was happening was in the beginning of the game, it wasn't like that. He was legit trying to hit receivers on routes, and he was off. You want to talk about Jimmy G being off? Kyler Murray was awful and off. He couldn't hit an open wide receiver. He was throwing balls over their heads and everything. And then when it came down, when they figured they had a chance, like they had a shot at winning this game, it was one read. It was Colin Kaepernick all over again. That's what it was. One read, pull the ball down, run.
And they praising.
That style works in the NFL right now. Look at all the teams that are winning.
But it's funny because they criticized the 49ers for doing it. And now,
that's the league. The league has changed. I was talking about it with Javi Vega recently. It's all about, look, offensive linemen that the colleges are producing are getting worse and worse every year. Less prepared. I mean, and the defensive linemen are getting more and more athletic. You really need a quarterback who can protect himself.
Yeah.
In 2020. If you don't, then you got Jimmy Garoppolo doing pirouettes in the pocket. That looked bad. That looked unathletic.
He didn't look too, especially when he kind of fumbled the ball just a bit. Like he kind of dropped the ball just a little bit. Yeah. I felt the way he looked like he was gonna get nobody. It wasn't the center fault though.
I didn't say it was the center fault, but
he caught it. He was like,
doesn't it kind of feel like the era of the pocket quarterback is kind of
it's going away. It's going away.
I think it's ending, bro.
Yeah, it's almost like the big man going away in basketball. Like you need an athlete.
what's going to happen is they're going to spend less on offensive linemen and spend more on weapons and get a creative quarterback, because that's really the neutralizer to a great defensive line. The great defensive line is a creative quarterback,
improvisational type of quarterback.
You better believe it, and that's why Russell Wilson, because he can also throw the ball.
Right.
That's why he is so great accurately,
yeah.
and he makes great decisions. So I think Jimmy was kind of in that zone too. He didn't want to throw
the best quarterbacks in the league: Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray,
Lamar Jackson,
Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, all guys who can move.
All guys that can improv outside the pocket.
All guys who can improv. I mean,
shoot.
That doesn't bode well for Jimmy Garoppolo. It feels like because I'm gonna say like everyone's like, well, he's gonna be the next Tom Brady. Maybe you don't want the next Tom Brady in 2020. I mean, maybe you want the next, Patrick Mahomes, the next Russell Wilson, the next Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this: going into this week, man, let's talk about these Jets a little bit. So, I of course I scouted the Jets, man, and I don't want to be, we should beat these guys, right? We should come in here and make a statement, but the problem, no excuses. But the problem I'm seeing is that they're going to load the box up, stop the run, and they're going to make Jimmy G beat us. I promise you, that's going to be their scheme. But going into this week, what breakout players do we need? Give me a couple on offense, couple on defense that you feel like, you know what, these guys really need to step up in order for us to win this football. Other than Jimmy Garoppolo, other than Jimmy on offense, give me some guys.
You need your wide receivers to be able. I mean, they were getting open, but you need these wide receivers to be ready for these quick throws. If they're going to load the box up on Jimmy Garoppolo, which he likes, they got to get ready for these quick slants, quick throws, quick passes, catch the ball, get yak, and keep it moving. Like, that's what they're going to have to do. We've seen it being done before. We've seen it get done before. Jimmy is pretty good at that, opposed to like having to drop back, read defense, throw the ball down the field. I really like quick throw Jimmy. He don't got to worry about stepping into a throw. It's all arm, boom, boom, boom. It was a touchdown to Mostert, right? So we're going to see that. I personally don't think that even if they stack the Bucs, I don't think they have the talent. I just don't think they have the talent to take away the run. They don't have CJ Mosley. They got some weak linebackers.
Jamal Adams
is with the Seahawks.
I know. What I'm saying is that imagine if he was there still.
Oh, now we that's a difference. That's a difference.
I saw him in the game, man. It looked like we lightweight needed him, man. that cat was looking good, bro.
He's a player. He's one of those guys that you just say, hey, I'm gonna have to pay you at some point, but you want him on your team. But I don't see their defense really scaring, or stopping this offense. Now, I will say their offense, on the other hand, I know they're missing some weapons, but Sam Darnold could throw the ball down the field. And if we're weak in the secondary, which we are, we're limited right now. If we're weak in the secondary, you best believe that's what he's going to do. So the defensive line better get home. That's all I can say. So that's my defense and my offense take.
What we got, Grant?
They're going to crush the Jets. It's going to be bad. I mean, look. We know the Niners defense is vulnerable to the mobile quarterbacks. But
right.
Dude, you remember what they did to Baker Mayfield?
I know.
Jared Goff and even Aaron Rodgers. It's going to look bad. I mean, if it doesn't look bad, then I'm concerned. But I'm expecting that the next time the Niners face the Cardinals, it'll be tough. When they face the Patriots, it'll be tough. When they face the Seahawks, it'll be tough because they don't have a freaking plan for stopping mobile quarterbacks. But that's not the challenge this week. What's going to happen this week is they're going to sack Sam Darnold.
I'm looking
7
for
times. But 7 times. I mean, it's going to look
like he called 7 times.
I mean, by the second quarter, he's going to be like, do we have to finish this game? Like, I'm sore. No one's open. I mean, what I'm curious to see with the offense is, I mean, I think Ayuk's going to need to play well because if he doesn't, they're going to have a tough time scoring. Kittle, even if he plays, I think is going to be a decoy.
Yep.
No Debo. Kittle's absence is going to hurt the run game.
I honestly think Sanu comes and plays. Whether he starts,
does he help, dude? I think he's been done, man. He was awful last year.
He was awful. He was awful on every offense, though.
Everybody's. If you notice, all of Kyle's old players are awful without him.
Dude, he's 31 now. I mean, if he had anything left, he'd be playing with Cam Newton in New England now.
I'm just saying, Julio's probably the only one that's still balling. Everybody else.
Don't get your hopes up, man. Don't get your hopes up. The way I look at it is,
give me 4 catches. Give me 4
he's an
catches.
old Kendrick Bourne. He's an old Kendrick Bourne is better than Muhammad Sanu.
I'm not, and I won't disagree.
Sanu doesn't give you anything that Bourne doesn't give. Like Bourne is slow. You need to pair Bourne with someone who can actually run.
Okay.
Sorry, I could be wrong.
No, I just think Sanu comes in. The thing I like about Sanu is with Kyle Shanahan is you can line him up anywhere, and he's a physical guy. You could plug and play him. Hey, man, I need you to run the X, the Y, the Z, whatever it is you need to do. He can go in there and do it, and he can produce there. I get it. He old. It's different.
It's like Pierre Garçon,
right? On the end, though.
Yeah, on the end.
On his way out.
Can we admit that? Okay, so I'm gonna say it a little bit. For me, it's like Trent Taylor, man. Like
I just don't expect anything from him.
This
bro.
dude is open.
I don't care.
Can we get him the ball? I've watched it, man.
Okay, let me ask you
that fourth down. That fourth down, he was open.
And he also could have made a play. You're talking about young guys that don't know how to make plays on a ball. Like, you're not going to always have a perfect pass. Kyle Shanahan said that. He's like, dude, I know the pass wasn't great, but it would be good if these guys can, try to make a play. Kendrick Bourne,
you're making excuses for a quarterback that needs to put it on a dot.
I'm not making excuses for a quarterback, but name one quarterback that always throws dimes.
Several.
So every quarterback in this league always throws dimes.
Not always, but what I'm saying is point. And in big time moments, in 4th and 5,
even in big time moments, I watched Ben Roethlisberger couldn't shoot a pass the other night.
Yeah, he's 40. Ben is 40 years old, man.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, quarterbacks aren't going to always just throw dimes.
I agree, but come on, man.
And your wide receivers,
a 5-yard out.
Let me ask you this: if Deebo Samuel was playing that game and that ball was underthrown, what do you think would have happened?
Deebo would have caught the ball. It would have been short of a first down.
But would he have caught the ball?
Yeah, he'd have caught the ball.
Okay, that's my point. Some wide receivers know how to go and get. And when you go back to that Baltimore Ravens game that I was at in the rain, and you watch Jimmy shoot a duck in the air, and you're like, oh, shoot. And then Deebo goes and gets the ball. Sometimes you just need that type of wide receiver. And Kendrick Bourne, maybe he's just not that. Neither is Trent Taylor.
That's football 101, the high point.
Are you making excuses for Jimmy Garoppolo right now?
This is not an excuse. All I'm saying is help your quarterbacks out. You could say an excuse or not.
So I'm gonna name another guy, man. I'm gonna say that Solomon Thomas needs to be benched for DJ Jones, man. I'm gonna say it again.
I thought DJ Jones didn't play too well in this game.
Yeah, he had a sack too. Didn't he get his sack this week?
He didn't get the sack, but he was credited the sack.
Oh, okay. So I'm just saying the pressures he was putting on. I was watching DJ. I'm a DJ fan.
It was a ghost sack.
Solomon Thomas is not the answer, bro. He is.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. I didn't see Eric Armstead the whole game. I don't know where he was at.
I thought Solomon
did he play?
A couple of pressures. Eric.
Did Eric play? Like,
so different. That was my point too about the
there
game.
Nick Bosa was playing.
Yeah, it was a couple times I saw him on his backside too. But my point, I just felt like even the defense was vanilla, right? Like they didn't even. There were times they didn't have Bosa and Ford on the field at the same time. Like,
I don't know. Ford didn't. He didn't do it for me, man. Ford looked a little. He still looked like he was injured or something. I don't know. He wasn't going hard. Like, I guess you guys are right. It looked like preseason, and they need to get out of that zone because I think the Jets this is their Super Bowl to them, and they're gonna show up and they're gonna try to play hard. They do not want to go 0-2, so they're gonna play extremely hard. And the energy is what wins in this environment with no fans.
Yeah,
it's just gonna win, and we're gonna go out there and I hope we don't lay egg. That's all I got to say, man. But I'm gonna say this, like. I think Jimmy's got about. He'll probably throw for about 275. Hopefully 2 touchdowns.
To who?
I'm just saying he's gonna have to.
How do you 275? So how do you add that up in the receiving yards? Who's getting the yards?
Like George.
Ayuk's getting 150.
He's gonna have to throw a couple of running backs.
George has got to get it. I know he didn't practice today.
You realize if you take away that 75-yard catch and run from Raheem Mostert,
it was about 200.
It was like 185.
It was 180 something.
He doesn't have weapons right now.
Yeah, but you still have to design plays.
That's my.
To
I
get the man to
they
get
gotta
the man.
run the ball against the Jets.
We
they
can
stack that boy 7 times and run for 200. They gotta get back to who they are.
That's
their identity is a
identity.
vicious pass rush and the best run game in the league. If they can't get those two things
I
established,
totally agree.
And they're not going to win the Super Bowl this
But
year.
I totally
agree.
I'm with you, Grant. But I will tell you again is that they're going to damn near put 9 in the box and make him pass because they know that we don't have quality receivers right now. So the thing is that if George needs to be out there, man, and if he's not out there,
he'll be out there, but he's not going to make an impact. He has a knee sprain. It's nothing he can do.
Maybe we see more Jordan Reed this week. Maybe we unleash a little bit more of him.
He said unleash.
I don't have any problems with Ross.
I like him too. I'm telling you right now, man, we need to go a little bit more. Like and I know it's gonna sound crazy, but we definitely need to go to some empty sets too, man. Like if we're gonna throw this ball, Jimmy throws good in windows, man. Like
he does.
Give him some empty sets where he can read the defense a little bit, go up the middle. Like, come on, man. Like we gotta everything to me seems so tight.
We did none of that.
I don't understand, man. I don't understand.
That's my point. We did none of it. Like the Kyle Shanahan 49ers offense, the surprise plays, like nothing. It was just
kind of vanilla, man.
Shotgun or under the center, and Jimmy was seeing ghost. That's my question to you. Which quarterback you think is going to see ghost first? Jimmy Garoppolo or Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold's going to be seeing ghost before the game starts. It's going to be so bad. I'm sorry. The Niners defense got exposed by Kyler Murray, and they need a better plan when they face mobile quarterbacks. But Sam Darnold don't got it.
And
him and Jamison Crowder aren't going to tear up this defense. If they do, then really the Niners
we got a long season. Yeah. If we don't come out and dominate them by 14 to 17 points,
27-6 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you what, I live on the East Coast. I won't go to work. There's Jets fans. There's too many of them. I wouldn't be able to do it because I would end up in jail somewhere, like punching a Jet fan in the face if we don't win this game. So we have to win this game. This game will be.
You got that Baltimore accent.
Huh?
You get that Baltimore accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Connecticut. So it's crazy. Yeah, man. Got that little...
But sorry, I watch too much Wire.
We all watch The Wire.
I watched that series like 4 or 5 times, yo.
Yeah.
But listen, man, seriously, I think the game plan for this. You know, one thing that the 49ers do well, they travel well. And when they travel, they usually come together and they really play well together. So I'm expecting that, especially on the road for the next couple.
It's possible that this loss week 1 and this back-to-back road trip in the East Coast where they spend the week in West Virginia is exactly what they need.
Yeah, man.
Because to me, everything they've been saying all offseason is, man, just wait till we get back to the Super Bowl. It's like, that's not the right mentality in football. In football, the whole idea is the process, the work, all of it, and that's not really what they've been talking about. I think it's time that they get back to that. Like they're at this age where we have to beat the Jets. We can't think about the Super Bowl because if we start 0-2, we may not even make the playoffs. Right. So in a sense, this is kind of it's the wake up call they needed. And it's like if they did have a Super Bowl hangover, this is like the I don't know, it's like the cup of coffee that they freaking needed. Yeah. Well, hey, and on that note, though, I gotta bounce, man. My wife is gonna freaking kill me. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too, man.
He's out. Yeah. All right. Hey, real quick though, man. Let's do this real quick. I'm gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna get everybody here too.
Cool.
But last thing, man. Like, so in your opinion, man, like picking up because I was really big on like if we all in. Why didn't we grab Odell Beckham, man? Like,
you really want to ask me this question?
Yeah, I want to ask you, like, if we're all in, why didn't we grab Odell Beckham, man?
I'm not a salary cap guy, but for some reason, the only way grabbing Odell Beckham, the only way that would have worked is if somehow he just said, you know what, man, just give me $5. I just want to win a championship. Now, I think if that was the case, and I don't mean $5, I'm talking about,
the minimum.
Yeah, give me that, and I'll come here and I want to win, because you clearly heard him say he wants to win, right? Like that's what he wants to do. I think Odell is at a point in his life where maturity is starting to kick in, right? And we can't knock a player for going to where the highest bidder is giving them the most money. If you knock a player, then you ought to slap the mess out of yourself, because act like you go into a job, you get a job interview, but this job might be 40 minutes away, but they're going to pay you $30,000 more a year. You mean to tell me, I mean, I'll probably take the more convenient job because I'm lazy, but you mean to tell me you're going to turn down $40,000 just because it's 40 minutes away? Heck no, that's your gas times 10. So you can't knock a player for going and getting his bread, because we all know football money.
It don't last long.
It's funny, baby. So I'm not mad at him, but I think he's coming to a point where he just realized like his career is on his way out, and it sucks. As talented as Odell Beckham is,
he's playing with bad quarterbacks. Eli was at the end of his career,
but he was still good.
Yeah, but he was still good, but like this, I mean, this Baker Mayfield is horrible, and they're kind of just like covering it up by saying let's trade this Odell Beckham, but I don't really feel it.
They have weapons, bro. The Cleveland Brown has weapons if they can get a quarterback in there to kind of like come in there and facilitate. Would you trade Jimmy G to Cleveland for Odell Beckham?
No. See, and I can't.
And then promote Nick Mullins.
See, I like Nick Mullins. I like because he got guts. Nick Mullins got guts. He'll throw 4 picks, but he'll come in there the next game and throw 5 touchdowns. You know, that's who he is. He's a slinger. But it seems like this is Jimmy's make or break year for me. I've been defending him.
Me too.
For the last couple years. So because of that, he's on the hook right now. He has to produce. And in his first game, like that post route to Kendrick Bourne, stole the ball.
Yeah, he
slang the ball.
I think my issues with Jimmy is he was missing reads. I'm okay with the underthrow ball.
You notice how they don't mention that though. But if that was Kaepernick, they'd be like, "Oh, he's not looking at no other receivers."
Yo, he was legit. He missed Mostert in the end zone wide open. He missed Dante Pettis in the end zone wide open. Like these are reads, but and Grant said it best. I just don't think and it's not that he didn't trust Mostert. Remember, Jimmy was getting pressured and he got sacked 3 times. And the bad throw to Kittle that almost could have cost his career or not career, but season. I think there was just a lot going through his head and he couldn't shake it off. I think what Jimmy needed was a couple of interceptions. I think at least
one of them, huh?
At least one. I think that's what was missing, because usually Jimmy turns up after an interception. That's what happened.
Does. But I think people have been talking about him bad.
Yeah.
About the interceptions. Yeah. But him and Murray had probably identical years last year, number wise.
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head.
Watson.
Yeah. You said that people were talking bad about him throwing so many interceptions. He only had 13.
Yeah, but he was timid. He's timid. He wants to have 5 to 6, around.
And there. I think Jimmy was playing mad timid because he did not want to throw any picks.
With 0 pass rush against him, no. It was really no pressure on him.
Dude, no. There was that one that you're talking about, just that one time. He was pressured a lot from the right side, bro. Go back and watch that game.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about to the point where you feel like you can't look downfield.
I don't know.
Bro, your job is to stand in there and throw this ball, bro.
I don't know I don't get that part. That's the part those are the questions I can't answer. Only he can answer. And when he did his presser today, you saw that they didn't ask him those kind of questions.
They kind of was timid on him today. I don't know what's going on, but maybe they got a script. They say, hey, only ask these questions to Jimmy.
Yo,
I don't ever see nobody challenge Jimmy like, hey, man, so
they didn't.
What happened on a 5-yard out? Like
they tried to ask him some question, and all he said was, "We're gonna go out there and be better," or something like that. Like, we're gonna go be better. We're gonna be better, and we're gonna go out there and do what we got to do. But it was stemmed from one of those reads he just wasn't seeing.
Let me ask you this, man. Do Jimmy Garoppolo kind of remind you of Alex Smith right now, man? Be honest, man.
No, Jimmy Garoppolo, to be honest, reminds me of how Steve Young used to be before he became Steve Young. Steve Young, before he was scrambling around and doing all that kind of cool stuff, Steve Young was an ad lib quarterback too. He was a mobile ad lib.
He was
type
special though.
He was special, but it took him time. It took him some time.
He was accurate too. Like he was.
Yeah, but it still took him time. You got to remember, Steve Young sat behind like Steve DeBerg and Tampa and all these other guys. Then he came. And
that's when they invest in quarterbacks though. Like now they don't invest in quarterbacks.
They want you to come in.
You need to come in. You need a ball right now.
Yes. And we're
paying them like $100-some million, bro. You need a ball.
Is it safe to say that maybe Jimmy wasn't fully developed? Because think about it. You sat behind Tom Brady. Was behind Tom Brady for what, 7 years? And if he didn't play, what could he possibly do when he plays?
I think he was there only about 4 years.
Okay. Either way, it was more than it was past his rookie year contract, right? Because he got paid with us, right?
You like Nick Mullins, don't you?
No, it's not that I like Nick Mullins. I actually love Jimmy G.
So why would you trade him for Odell?
Because we need weapons.
So if he leaves, then who's gonna throw the ball?
Nick Mullins.
I think Nick can do it, but I also
I feel like you're trying to set me up because then
I know. The only reason I'm really saying that is because I want to hear you say I want to trade Jimmy for Odell Beckham.
No, I don't. It was a hypothetical question. Would you trade?
No, I'd give up a second though. I'd give him a second.
I would give up a pick for Odell.
That call should have been made. They should have made that call. They probably would have pulled the trigger on that one.
I'm sure Cleveland would have wanted more though. But I think so. Here's how the 49ers work though.
In a 6 of the following year. I mean, come on.
But that's my point. I think they would have wanted more. John and Jim Kyle would have been like, nah, it's cool. And then all of a sudden, Odell pulls some crazy junk where they got to get rid of him, and then they'll go get him for a bargain. I think that's what's going to happen. To be honest with you.
And I forgot, Kyle doesn's really like Cleveland. Yeah, I forgot. He
see what I'm saying?
He kind of don't like Cleveland. They did him dirty. So he's probably like, no, I don't care. We're not making that deal. They're not getting anything from us.
It's a good point.
They may have really did.
now, if Odell was with Denver, that trade would have got pulled faster than a speeding wagon, bro. Because they like Denver. There's something about that organization that they like to work with. But no, man, I'm not trying to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, guys. I'm just putting a hypothetical out there because we do have another quarterback that we feel can probably move the ball. Look, I personally think Jimmy's going to be fine. He just had a game, and quarterbacks have games. We got to understand, like, Drew Brees didn't have a game. This dude threw for like 159 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he the man. But they did win. Right, they won. That's
convincingly.
Was it convincingly?
Oh, it was never. It
wasn't convincingly, man. Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions. Drew Brees had the ball on the 5-yard line twice. What I'm saying is
that defense showed up.
Yeah, but the defense ain't got nothing to do with Drew Brees. My point is,
Drew was not looking good. Yeah, he was not.
That's my point, bro.
But his defense helped him out, kind of. Like
they did. They got him the ball like on his side of the field a few times, and. Man. That definitely helps the quarterback. I mean, I kept saying, I said, it would be dope if we can get the ball on our side of the field. And then Tart gets the interception. We get the ball on our side of the field. And what do? We punt.
It's just, I'm going to tell you right now, that Tart interception, because that was a great play.
That was a tip drill.
By Greenlaw. Yeah,
yes, it was.
But just the way he froze, he looked like, I can't get there. Let me knock this up. Tip drill, like you said, all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, let's close it. Because I ain't gonna lie, I thought after the first quarter, I was thinking, we about to blow these cats out. It's about to be we about to run away with this one. They not in our league. And then the punt block, and ever since then,
momentum shifted, bro.
Look bad, man.
Momentum shifted.
And I don't know what happened to George in the second half. I don't even think we threw it at him.
They didn't. He didn't have one attempt, like one target, bro.
How does that happen?
I think because of the injury, they didn't want to, like,
make him out of the game. Then.
No, get a cortisone shot and keep it moving. I'm
just saying, if he can't play, get him out. Like, we don't need him out there as a decoy.
Apparently, they needed him in a run block because he was doing that. And he missed a block.
We got like 4 tight ends. Like, come on, man. Like,
it was awkward. I was going back and I forgot who was telling me who broke down the they broke down the goal line play.
Oh, that missed block by our rookie. Wasn't it?
Yes, Charlie
was
Warner.
He fell down though.
He fell down. He
seen that. I seen that when it first happened. At first, I thought I ain't gonna lie. I thought Trent Williams got blown up.
Nah, they bumped into him.
Yeah, he took his momentum like a good offensive lineman will. Yeah. He took his momentum and just put him in the dirt. Yeah. The hole was there.
Yeah, it closed quick because Brunskill got knocked into Trent Williams, all from a slip. That's all. It was like a dominoes. It was like a dominoes.
I don't know if I'll put that rookie right there to block on the goal line though. That's just me.
But who else are you putting there?
Man, you gotta put another offensive lineman out there if you notice what you're doing.
I know, man.
I'm just saying, man. Like,
do you understand?
If we're gonna run the, I'm a Parcell guy when it comes to.
Oh man, you old school. I love it.
I'm not gonna hide what I'm doing. I'm going to run this football on the
down your throat.
Come on, bro. This is 4th down. If I can't get a yard, we don't deserve it.
You're old school, and I love it. I love it because when you're talking about red zone, goal line football, there is no new school to that. It's one way or the other. It's your guys got to out leverage and outpower the other guys. Because all I would have did is if I'm a quarterback, right? If I'm a quarterback, and that's just me because I see stuff. I would have tapped that center on the ass. I'd have been like, hand me the ball. Sorry for cursing. And I would have just snuck it. I would have snuck it.
Why not?
You're too close. Now, when you got to give it to the running back, it was supposed to be there. That I still think it was a touchdown, but that's just me, man.
But he could have did a better job selling it too. You know, like it's 4th down.
But here's the thing. You know what happened? They reached for that ball and he didn't want to fumble. I saw it. I saw Mostert not want to let go his hands on that ball. If you watch his arms corral that ball, when the guy kind of like ripped in, he was just like, nah, this not coming out. And if I fall over it, I fall over it. Opposed to just taking the ball, just reaching it out, because all it got to do is cross the plane, young fella, and across the plane is a touchdown.
It would have been 17-3 at that point.
It would have been totally different, and we would not be having this conversation, and we would be happy moving on to the New York Football Jets.
Oh, man. So what last question, man. Break down the score. What you got, man? Next this week coming up. We got the Jets, and give me some numbers on some players. And then I give you mine. We get up out of here.
You know, I want the score to be high. But the Jets contest. We're sitting here looking at the Jets. They put up points last week. And it's not like they got blown out. They're just not fully together. They got some key guys that are missing. But I think that the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, if they get at least a couple of these pieces back, and we've never seen Brandon Ayuk play, right? Like we've never seen.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, but my point is we've never seen him play in the NFL. So I'm hoping, you know, man, it sucks. The guys you really want to, I really think with 9 in the box, I still think we try to run the ball down their throats. You know? I just think we try to find schematic ways to get some runs going, man. And I expect another big game from Raheem Mostert. So I'm thinking Mostert's I think this week Mostert is going to have 100 yards rushing.
I hope so, man.
Because he didn't last week. And, you know, we always talk bad about Jimmy G. And I've said this on every show that I've been on. You know, we sit there and say, yo, if you take that 76-yard pass away, he only has 100 and something yards. Hey, guess what? If I take that 76-yard pass away, ask me how many yards Raheem Mostert had. That means he would have had 3 catches for 20 yards and 15 rushes for almost 60 yards. That's a bad game. So I just want to put that perspective out there. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. He would have had more touchdowns. He would have had another touchdown or whatnot if he got in. But you know,
he's not a goal line back though. That's a Fred. That's a Wilson Jr. run right there too. Like big physical back.
We don't know what's going on with that, right? Like
I'm gonna tell you right now, that would have been the guy coming in. I just remember specialty guys.
Yeah.
Remember Crockett back in the day for the Raiders? They used to put him on the goal line. Oh, they used to be like, "Oh, we on the goal line? Oh yeah, come on up over here, man. Let's come over and get this, man." Everybody in the world knew he was getting the ball. Marcus Allen. Everybody in the world knew.
I like your old school, bro.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, man.
Listen, I mean, you know, give me a offensive lineman at the goal line to run that ball in because they got to get in there. What's good, Nick? We have to The game plan just seemed vanilla. I'm leaving it there, and I hope that we see a better game plan going into week 2. That's it.
I got 20, 28. No, I'm gonna go 27. You know what? Let me go 27, 17. Niners, and I'm gonna stick to it, man. I still think Jimmy will throw for 275.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I think we're gonna have to at some point run a little empty. We're gonna have to run some trips. I really didn't see him running a lot of trips, man. I'm gonna tell you, it was a lot of two by
but
two.
We don't got those type of receivers, bro.
But you can put Trent. You could put Trent, KB. Okay. And then you can come on, man. You can put Trent, KB, and even you can put George out there and line up Jordan at tight end. I mean, you can make something happen.
And the only person as a defensive back, the only person you fear out of that package is who?
George.
Right.
But there's still, like, if you look at Hopkins, and only reason I keep saying this, dude, you saw the game.
I did.
I know. I'm gonna play 2 plays real quick. I'm just gonna play the 2 to 3 plays, and I want you to see how far off they was. And Hopkins is not a deep threat guy.
Not once did he have a deep pass. He ran bang, 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 stop, cut, come back in. Because Mosley would back up and give him space.
Watch this, man.
3rd down and 6. Here comes that pressure. Yep. Murray to the sideline. DeAndre Hopkins with the grab. Does he have the first down yardage? Emmanuel Mosley with the tackle right at the sticks. And on 1st down, Hopkins twisting out of traffic. And Hopkins with another 1st down to the 36. Fred Warner on the tackle.
Team 7. Kevin?
Carissa thanks. Kyler Murray pacing as he finds DeAndre Hopkins at the Niner 39. Emmanuel Mosley shoves him out there.
Alert screener draw.
From the 45, Murray to the sideline. There's Hopkins.
All right, man, I'm going to stop it right there.
They were just running dig routes, man.
Dig routes all day, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, what I'm trying to say to you is that I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is Trent Taylor can run some little dig, some get. Yeah. I mean, it's design, it's play design.
I get what you're saying.
Oh man, we calling him a genius. Find a way to get these guys open. That's all. Okay. You know what I mean?
So finally, I'm not the only one that's saying that Kyle needs to do something better.
Man. Oh
okay.
man,
I thought it was just me because I was saying these plays aren't working, and I just felt like he has plays that could work because he has the personnel. And we've watched Trent Taylor do dig routes. We've watched Trent Taylor look. We've watched him make plays. The only plays they kept going through Trent was the outside, the out joints, and they just weren't working. They didn't work all game. I think it was 0 for 2 on those type of plays.
Man, it's always a pleasure having you on the show, man. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Everybody, this is 49ers Empire. Appreciate it if you can subscribe on YouTube.
Hit that subscribe button,
49ers podcast. We really appreciate it. And we are out.